need y'all to do me a favor right fast. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get all of our content as soon as it drops. With that being said, let's get back to the video. You dig?
What's going on, y'all? It's your guy Tez the Fi.
You got CJ100.
And we are the Fi 100 Podcast. Back at you again with another podcast episode. And bro, on this one, we gonna be going into a part 2.
We had to do a part 2
of the spare the rod, spoil the child conversation.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. I had my partner Kenny reach out to me, and his stance is no whippings, period. Right. And I think we both lean that way.
Right.
But we're not anti-whooping, and we're not anti-not whooping your kids' ass either. Like, do what you do, just don't be over the top with it.
Right.
So we wanted to definitely come back and have a conversation again because we didn't really get into depth about our position.
I agree.
We were just dealing with a situation.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I think, bro, it was, for me, when you told me about your guy having that opinion, it kind of offended me. Just because I've never even thought about another way to discipline.
Right.
And not another way to discipline, but not to whoop.
Right.
Because, bro, that's the way I grew up. And I'm not saying that, like CJ said, I'm not against it, and I'm not for overdoing it either.
Right.
But I do think it play a role. And that's part of the reason why I was a little offended, but I wasn't offended like he was saying that the podcast was trash.
Right.
It was more of the opinion. He got a different opinion than me. So I'll just say this, bro. In my opinion, I grew up with whoopings.
Right.
I think most of us did. But like we mentioned on the episode, bro, we also grew up with beating sometimes too.
Right. That was more of what I got. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
And like, bro, I was the type of guy, I never wanted to beat my child. But I did want to discipline him, for me personally, because that's a boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
a different ballgame.
Yes, sir. The world look at him way differently than they'll look at a little black girl.
Right.
And I'm not saying that is out. I'm saying it because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the background that I have with discipline, even for me, bro, timeouts wasn't gonna do nothing for your boy.
Like I said, when I talked to him, I got where he was coming from. It wasn't like he was wrong.
Right.
I was trying to make clear to him too, like, bro, we not kicking kids down the stairs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I've only whooped my child once.
Yeah.
And she's 7. Now, like you said, it's a different dynamic because she's a girl, right? And they have a little bit more of a reverence and fear for the father.
They do.
The boys test shit, right? Like, I tested everybody.
Yes,
my uncle, my mama, my girl, everybody I tested because I wanted to see how far I could go.
Yep.
Boys tend to do that more because they're going to be leaders one day.
Yes.
So it's like, it's in them to do it. But you do got to police it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, as far as my perspective on whooping in general, I don't think it's necessary as much as the old heads like to make it. Like, they see a damn young man on camera shooting. He ain't get enough whoopings. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with whoopings.
Nah.
Like a shooter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's going to commit deletion, like, they're going to commit deletion for whatever reason. Strong raised houses, whatever. I saw this clip, right, of this older guy, and they were talking about whoopings. And he said his father whooped him, right? And the mother was like, I don't want to see you do that again. He said, all right, don't complain to me when these boys get up in jail or whatever. He said, because I know my bloodline.
Yeah.
Like, well, you got to damn near kill us to get through to us. Now, I'm not saying we should all do that.
Right.
But as a father, you tend to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You tend to know how far to go. Now, he brought up one point.
Okay.
That I want to see what you think about it. He said a lot of whoopings were frustration whoopings.
I can agree with that. Like, I ain't even hesitate with that because I knew a lot of the times, like, bro, I'm not trying to make my father seem like he was a bad guy.
Right.
But he was the ultimate disciplinarian.
Okay.
So a lot of the time, his whooping would come from frustration instead of lessons because this was a man that worked all day. When he got off work, he had stuff to do. And he had to deal with children and a wife. So it was a lot of the times, it wasn't no sit down, I'm going to tell you why I did what I did. It was, I'm about to beat your ass.
Let me deal with this problem.
Yes.
Right.
And not figure out why he doing. And that's one of the things I do give credit for our generation to do.
Right.
Bro, we try to explain to our children. Like, bro, when I gave Levi that whooping, bro, I had a conversation with him like I talked to you, like I talked to any of my other partners.
Right.
Like, look, I'm doing this for a reason, straight up. And he went back to doing it. So I can agree with him. Like, and I think as parents, bro, that's why we have to be so careful when we discipline our children.
Right. It's got to come from a place of correction and love. So I want to ask you this because I mentioned this on the last one. And I think you did to a degree. When we have the feeling after, like, am I wrong? Now, when we, cause we didn't dive into it, so I want to dive into it this time. Do you think that the reason we feel that is because in some ways we're not, we may be inadequate as a parent? Do you think that's the reason that you may feel? Because I know for me, like I was like, damn, I felt I was wrong, but I felt I was right.
Yeah.
And something had to be done, but did it have to be that? Could that be more of that's just what we're used to doing, or does it really feel like you had to do it?
That's a great question, bro. And honestly, for me, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
It's a little bit because I'm scared of failing my son, but at the same time, I know I got to do certain things. And when I say fail, I don't want him to grow up and be, like you said, the leader. But I got to understand as a parent, it don't matter how many whippings I give him. If that's what he want to do, that's what he want to do. But yeah, bro, for me, it was like I wanted to make sure that I didn't fail him.
Right.
I wanted to be the disciplinarian figure that he seen before he had to see the police. Hopefully he never had to see him, but if he do, like, oh man, like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be that. But yeah, bro, I really hadn't sat down and thought about it. And part of it is because that's what I seen too.
Right.
Like, bro, once again, bro, timeout was not a timeout. What they timeout was a concussion.
Nigga, time out from whooping your ass.
Right. I had to take a breather and I'm coming back for part 2.
Right.
And that's a great point, bro. Because is this psychological? You know what I'm saying? Is it because I seen it, I feel like I have to do it? And for me, I'll be completely honest. I do think that that's a part of it. But I think another reason why I feel bad about it is because society tells me I shouldn't discipline my child at all. Because when you look at the world that we live in now, you can't discipline a child in public.
Right.
20 years ago, you could do it and nobody, Mr. James up the street could do it if he knew your mama.
Right.
But now it's even to the point where it's like, even if you tell them no, that's bad. And I'm working this, I'm trying to figure out how to walk this tightrope with not only society, myself, my wife. That's a whole nother dynamic. So, bro, for me, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not saying that I'm just the most amazing father in the world. I'm a veteran at it.
Right.
And I do want to learn other alternatives besides whooping, but I know they worked for me. So I'm just doing what worked for me for him, but he a different child. Whooping might not work for him.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking that question, bro. Like that really made me think about it for real though. So.
Yeah, when I talked to Kenny, it made me think. I ain't gonna lie, it made me think, are we doing something wrong for real? Or are we doing what we think is right because it's what happened with us? And he asked me the question, like, did you stay out of trouble? I was like, no. But I do think it gave me a pause. Like a cause to pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to accept I was getting whooped later. And that'll make you pause. Man. That'll make you be like, you know what, not today. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't even feel like getting that junk today.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made me think, bro. I'll say that when I talked to him, he really made me think. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna holler at Ted and see if you want to do a part 2. And luckily you was feeling like you really hadn't expressed everything you wanted to express. So that's why we do what we do, guys. Yeah. I mean, you know, the 500 podcast is a legit podcast of two men experiencing life at the same time.
Fact.
And just giving it to y'all raw.
And like, bro, that question really make you deep dive into like why you do what you do.
Facts.
And bro, it's just a great question. It's just great that we are able to have this conversation because it's like bro, I really want to know, am I doing the right thing? And I hope that, you know, as time go along, my discipline is what does it. But maybe it is more talking to our children instead of just going for the belt. But that's why I gave the example ahead of time of me having the conversation with him first. But I also had to understand, dude, 18 months, 19 months, he a baby.
Yeah.
So he gonna do baby stuff. But it's like, for me, the challenge is, this being my first child, how much do I let him get away with stuff at this tender age? Because from what the doctors then told me, this the age where his brain really starts to understand what is and what ain't.
Right.
So I need him to know his dad is what ain't. Like, you can't play with this one. Like, you might be able to get away with this with mama.
Right.
But when daddy come through the door, you need to know, nah, this ain't gonna be no fun.
Yeah, you the safety.
Yes.
They done burnt the linebackers and corners, and you the last line of defense. You know what I'm saying?
Come on with the football.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? I do a little something.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? But yeah, I agree. You know, me and my partner also talked about the connection it got to slavery. And we had a deep conversation.
Yeah.
We had a deep conversation. And I before I've ever talked to him about it, I've always kind of believed it. Because it's like a strong in the body, weak in the mind type of thing.
Yeah.
And then you think about the comedians like Aries Spears that would do jokes like, you know, he had his white friend over and his mama was like, you're being too loud in the room, and cussing him out.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, she can't do this to you, dude. This is your space. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But see how we laughing?
Yeah.
It's because it's like we laughing at really trauma.
Yeah.
And comedians do that well.
Yes.
Like they put pain into a joke, you know what I'm saying, to make it more palatable. But just think about that, like, what kids is gonna be in control of volume of having fun? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro.
Yeah, you know,
okay.
he took, like, at first I was like, bro, we ain't even on that. But it's like, once you do a little reflecting, but I was like, he got a point.
Yeah.
He got a point.
He do. And once again, it's one of them conversations where when you talk it out, it really make you think about it. Because, bro, I wouldn't deny that that's probably a part of it.
Right.
But I do also believe that's why we are so hard on our children, because we don't want y'all to go through a lot of things that we went through.
Yep.
And like, bro, for me, bro, it didn't take me a lot of whooping to realize I didn't want a lot. Like once, bro, my dad is a man. Like this ain't no.
See, I got mama whooping.
Yeah, like, bro. But you said your uncle got to you a few times.
Shout out to UB. He definitely got to me.
So you know what I'm saying? You feel the difference.
Yeah.
And with my father, bro, it's my way or the highway. You know, as a child, you ain't got no opinion.
Right.
And it's like, bro, I don't want to raise my child like that.
Right. So you take on some of what you think was good and you delete what you think was bad.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So we kind of talked about the negative of, you know, what this could mean. But I think there are some positives.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I will say, and I'll keep saying it, some of them whoopings stopped me from doing other things that I shouldn't have been doing.
Yes, sir.
Because I didn't want the consequence. It's the consequence. So maybe we could change the physical punishment of it and, you know, do more of the removing the game. But what do you remove from Levi?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He's 1.5.
Right. So see, bro, that's my dilemma that I have.
Right.
Time out don't mean nothing to him. He can have fun anywhere. Right. You buy him toys, he gonna play with the box.
Right. And he ain't gonna stand in a spot like you gonna have to whoop him if you try to keep him in a spot.
Bruh, he not gonna stay there. And like, bruh, this why I'm happy we having this part too.
Right.
Because see, bro, your daughter way older than Levi.
Right.
But you have had to teach her similar lessons because they children. They gonna have to learn one way or the other.
Right.
And you handled it different. Like you said, you only whoop your daughter once. But you had to be like, hey, but she understand what that A mean.
Right.
Levi don't understand what that A mean.
Right. He ain't got communication yet.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you balance those two things? Because at that age, bro, yes and no, he understands, but he don't understand the severity of it. But your daughter, if you say no and you give her that look, the fear of God is in her after that.
That's a fact.
So she knows. So, bro, I ask you this. As the father of a daughter, how do you discipline her without having the soft spot of this my baby girl?
You can't.
See?
You can't. Like it's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? When we talking corporal punishment, when we talking about tapping their butt or something, it's hard not to do that and still think this my baby girl. So I think that's why I do so much. And then this is just not fair to you because you have to figure out another way.
Yes.
But I'm at the point now where me and her talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we just have random conversations about life. And I'm putting stuff into her head for her to understand. So later if she goes against it, at least she'll understand what's going on. And I don't think I'll ever have to whoop her. Like, she'll have to do something crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real, because I do have to lay down the law.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes the law, like, you know, sometimes you can get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can get probation, or, you know, you can't smoke during a certain amount of time. And sometimes they lock your ass up.
Yeah.
And sometimes the death penalty.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's levels to discipline. So I don't ever want to just be like, we need to eradicate whippings.
I agree.
You can't, because I do believe that there's a situation in my life with my daughter that's gonna require it.
Yes.
Because there's no other way she gonna understand.
And bro, it's just like everything is. I believe it's a time and place for everything. And if you don't physically whoop your kids, cool. That's the way you choose to raise them.
Right.
But I choose to whoop my son because, once again, that got through to me. Now, as he get older and I realize that don't get through to him, like, matter of fact, bro, I had a conversation with my barber about this today. He said, bro, with his youngest daughter, whooping don't do nothing for her. She one of them type where she'll rather be shown that she wrong than punished for being wrong. She want to know, why did this happen?
It's more effective for her to see.
Exactly. Now, once again, I don't know this with my boy, but I know my boy can't do whatever he want to around that house. But I don't know, bro. I guess just as he get older, maybe I'll understand the best way to discipline him.
Right.
But now, as a father, bro, I don't see no other way. And I find that now his mother tries to take away the things that would get him a whooping.
Right. And she should.
Bro, but see, my thing is, this what I was battling with. I know why she doing it, but at the same time, is it like, did I go overboard?
Right.
Because now it's
because you think she's trying to protect him from you.
Exactly.
Right.
And like, you know, baby, this ain't a shot at you in case you listen to this.
Right.
But CJ, you told me something, bro. When women have children, it changed them. Like, bro, that was one of the truest things that you ever told me as my brother. Right. And like I said, that's why I apologize to my wife first, because I don't want her to think that this is a shot.
Yeah.
But I have seen the change.
It's inevitable.
Yes.
Like a human came out of it.
Yes.
Your body parts changed. You know, she lost a lot from the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And then it's like, you lose some love, they go to Levi.
Right.
It ain't no new love. It's like she transfers some of that to him.
Come on.
So, and it's with you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all changed, but, you know, when I had that conversation with you, it was just like, bro, like, it's going to either make or break the relationship.
You said that.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's no way of hiding the love anymore. It's no way of pretending, because everything you believe in finna start coming out.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want your kid to go through it. And it's like, wait, it's not just my kid though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's gonna make or break it.
And bro, once again, that's why I said, man, like, when we had these conversations, bro, it's like, bro, I really be needing the real. Like, because I don't know. I'm still so new to this. But yeah, bro, like, talking to you, talking to my barber about the situation, it was like, man, y'all brothers, you got a daughter, you know what I'm saying, a younger daughter. He got children, you know, he got sons and daughters.
And Kenny got a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Whew.
You know what I'm saying? So that was his first boy, the 1-year-old.
Oh yeah, so
You know
he
what I'm
out,
saying?
yeah.
And he even said he off the chain, bro. Like the boy completely different.
That's what I'm saying, and like that, like, bro,
Yeah.
that's why it's so conflicting to me, because it's like I can't let him get off the chain,
Right. Yeah.
because if he get off the chain with me, who's supposed to stop him from getting off the chain, bro?
He off that motherfucker.
Right.
Right.
It's my responsibility to make sure that, nah, bro, in this house, you not doing that.
Yeah.
You not disrespecting me. You not disrespecting your mama. You ain't gonna start it at 1 and do it at 21.
Right.
Because if I never discipline you, or if I never say nothing to you, you believe everything you doing right. That's why, bro, your episode, why you don't call your daughter princess, bro, you got pushback from that, and I know you did.
Yeah. You already know.
But you as a man gave out a clear description of why you don't do that, because she gotta understand you might view yourself as a princess, but this world don't view you as no princess.
Right.
You another black woman in this world. I'm another black man in this world, and that's it. And bro, as fathers, we gotta be the ones that tell y'all the real. No, bro, you good at this, but you ain't the best.
You gotta create that extracurricular, extra sauce and pizzazz to say, okay, you're LeBron.
Right.
Okay, you're Serena. Like, that was earned.
Yes, sir.
Like, LeBron wasn't born the LeBron we see today. That was hard work,
Come on, man.
talent, and he was blessed with some skills.
Yes, sir.
That's the shit you can't recreate, true enough. But if he didn't work, he'd have been another 6'8" bum.
Fact. Ooh.
That's just what it would have been.
Facts.
So it's like, we can't lie to our kids. So a part of that whipping is like, look, baby, like, I don't want to do this, but you're not listening to reason. You're not understanding what I'm telling you. And I got to get it through to you somewhere. And pain, I'm not going to lie, pain is a good lesson
Them
sometimes.
facts.
Because I can honestly say, I mean, and we're not just talking about whoopings. You can talk about if you play football,
Come on now.
nigga. Not
Man.
going up that hole no more.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta shake this nigga. I can't try to run him over because
Nah.
he gonna break my shoulder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it plays a part. I just think that I think more of what me and Kenny was talking about that day is really the excessive shit.
Yes.
Or whooping them for every little thing.
Nah.
Or going above and beyond with the whooping. Like, you know, we had beatings, bro. Let's just go. We've had the beatings where belts hitting face, nuts,
Man.
ass cheek, the top of your neck. Nigga, I done got hit everywhere with a belt.
I agree. But like, bro, I'm with you. Like, I remember some of them days where I left and it was a scar. Like a scar, not from the belt. Like, it just happened. Like, nah,
Right.
I know where it happened from.
Right.
But it's like, you see that happening as a child. And like I said, when you become an adult, you be like, bro, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But like you and Kenny was mentioning, how much of that is in you that you put out towards your child?
Right.
And once again, bro, that's that hard line that we walk as fathers, because, bro, you don't want to tip over, but you don't want to be too soft.
We can be wrong so many damn ways.
Woo, man.
And we talked about that too, because he wasn't just like criticizing.
Yeah.
We actually got into just the aspect of being a husband and a father.
Man.
And it's like, yeah, sometimes you just feel like you can't be right, but you still got to keep going.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it plays so many different ways, bro. But I think that I would rather have Levi have that discipline than not have it at all.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get something wrong.
Yes.
Like, that's inevitable. Something's gonna be wrong. So what you can get right, you get right. Which is why we having this conversation.
Agreed.
It's literally us thinking this through. We ain't got no notes for this. Like,
Yeah.
this is literally us thinking through it in the last conversation we just had. And we realized like how it could come off.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's readdress it and make sure it's understood. Like, we not backing up off our position, but we didn't make our position clear.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think when you bought this to me, I was excited to do it again.
Yeah.
Because you want to give more clarity to what you're saying. Like, bro, I don't want to beat my cheerleader, my child. I don't want to whoop Levi.
Right.
But I understand that he might need that to understand that I ain't playing with him.
Facts.
Like, bro, we say this all the time, and I'm gonna put a spin on it. We say women want to be the superheroes and the villain.
Right.
But men are the superheroes and the villains.
That's a fact.
Like, bro, when that popped up in my head, bro, it's because we have to be. Like, bro, we don't have a choice. We have to be Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Like, we have to be both of those.
Right.
Because if my son don't have no fear of me, it's no respect there as well.
Right.
Like,
you gonna get out in this world and not have any fear or respect.
Thank you, bro. And you know that with your daughter. And see, this is what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's why I love doing this, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel alone in my thoughts. When I talk to you, when we had these podcasts and other brothers hit us up and be like, bro, I felt it.
Right.
Because it's like, I know I ain't alone with these thoughts.
Right.
And the fact that you done went through the same thing that I'm going through, you just might have had to handle it different. Mm-hmm. We still in the same boat, bro.
We're still in the same boat.
We the superhero and the villain at the same time.
So, one thing I want to talk about too that I brought up in the last one was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
I went and looked at the reports. Yeah, I can't condone that.
Not at all.
I can't condone that.
No.
He had whips on his testicles.
Yeah, that was
like it was. And then you're talking about probably pound for pound one of the best and strongest running backs in the NFL.
Facts.
I don't care what nobody say. People say basketball. I've always said football has the best athletes.
I agree.
Because they're 300-pound men that can move like they 200.
Yes, sir.
And you got 200-pound men that's as strong as a 300-pound man. And Adrian Peterson, like when I saw them notes and what really happened, I'm like, yeah, bro, like I can't even support that
at all.
And that's Go ahead.
That's why we having this conversation now.
Right.
Bro, we don't sit up here condoning every man. Bro, we say that all the time.
Right.
Just because we male advocates, bro. Men's advocates.
Right.
Bro, that don't mean we agree with everything that they do. And what Adrian Peterson did was wrong. That was a beating.
That was a beating. That was abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
He should have did time for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But us as fathers, we try our best not to get to that point.
Right.
What is the difference between discipline and frustration?
And we're about to go on a panel tomorrow on Black Man Unfiltered and have this millennial and Generation X conversation again.
Yep.
Right? And this is another conversation that could definitely be intertwined into it.
Yes, sir.
Because they are the main ones that saying that what's wrong with these kids is they didn't get their ass beat enough. And it's like, how does that correlate, bro? Like, because if I'm not mistaken, now I don't know if nobody did a stat on this. Matter of fact, I think they have. But the most violent kids are the ones that get their asses beat. They get taught violence from their parent because their parents is whooping them or beating them or whatever the case may be. So even in having that conversation tomorrow, I might bring it up.
Yeah.
Because they feel as if their way was the right way.
Right.
And it's like, all you have to do to find out if the tree was worth the damn is look at the fruit.
Yeah.
And we looking at the fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously that didn't work. So that's why I did agree with Kenny.
Yeah, and for me, like I said, I just got a different experience with it. For me, like I said, I didn't get in a lot of trouble because I didn't want the whoopings.
Right.
And I'm not sitting up here saying that, it can't work the other way. My thing is that worked for me. And I believe you as an individual know what you got to do for your child. But like CJ said, in that generation, I got to beat you.
You just made me think, bro. You have to know your kid.
Yes, that's the main thing.
Because I didn't think about it until you just said it then. Maybe you said it before, I just didn't catch it. But you was like oh hell no, I don't want that whooping. And I think every kid has that, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I was definitely the kid like, I'm gonna take the whooping. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even though nobody's like, oh, I can't wait to get a whooping, it was still like, I'll take it so I can get what I want. So it's like, was the whoopings necessary for me or was it not? I don't know. But it worked for you, but it didn't necessarily 100% work for me.
Gotcha.
So it's the child. My sister never really got whooped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's more about that kid than what you want to do as a parent, and maybe that's what we can get lost in.
Bro, I just thought about something. Maybe if your mother had the real, like the deep conversations with you,
Right.
that would have worked.
I think it would have with me.
Because like you said, the pain wasn't the thing that you feared. It was the consequences.
Right. Right.
So maybe if the consequence is you telling me that I disappointed you, that hits different. Because
Right.
that mama disappointment, boy,
I expect better from you.
yes, boy, that hurt. Like, man, bro, my
Yeah.
mama told me that one time and I like to die. I was like,
Oh,
why? I disappointed my family.
why?
Fast. I was hurt, bro.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, bro, we'll never know this now because you're an adult, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in that time, maybe you didn't need whooping, bro. Maybe you needed that. Ooh,
Go ahead. I know you're going. Go ahead.
but the father went there.